I'm Justin Montan. If you're new here, my channel is dedicated to all things photography from the perspective of a full-time working professional photographer. And today I'm going to talk about sort of self-worth in photography and linking our identities to our client lists. So as photographers and really all creatives, our identities often become sort of like intertwined with our client lists, and it becomes sort of who we are. And amongst our peers, we silently judge and rank each other the same way. Not all of us, but many of us are guilty of this. It's common to introduce others or ourselves by mentioning the big names that we've shot for. You might say like, oh, I'm a photographer, I'm Justin, I'm a photographer, and I shoot a lot for blah, 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 insert prestigious brand or whatever. And while there's pride in that, we must be cautious both for our own sake and for the industry's sake as well. And let me explain. So brands and clients come and go, but your identity and self-worth are so much more than the logos on your portfolio or the clients you mentioned when you introduce yourself. And take my career, for example. I've worked hard, really hard, to build a respectable client list in both my editorial work and my commercial work, and even now in sort of my educational and YouTube work. I've shot on assignment for prestigious publications, collaborated with certain editors for over a decade. Occasionally, I've even risked my life, my freedom, and almost had my entire life turned upside down because of someone else's mistake for a publication. That's a long story and not for YouTube, but it did mess up my life for a couple of years. And did that publication stand by me during it all? Did they help me? Not at all. Quite the opposite, in fact. And that taught me a lot. Even in the commercial world, I've had a hotel client that helped launch my production company. I worked with them for a decade, completing numerous successful video shoots and photo shoots. However, under new management a couple years ago, we encountered a problematic individual who treated my team terribly, bringing several members of my staff to tears. His behavior was consistently disrespectful and aggressive, wasn't just like a bad day thing, and it was all very well documented. And he had very unreasonable demands, saying things like, I'm the client, you just do as I say, and worse things than that. And after the shoot, I reported his behavior to his boss. And I did so in a very calm and nice way, but the issue persisted through aggressive emails. His tone didn't change. And despite my team wanting to let it go, I felt compelled to address it. I sent a polite but stern email with clear evidence of his unacceptable behavior, but it went unanswered. It showed me a complete disrespect for us and our concerns and all of our time working together. And I knew addressing the issue might jeopardize our relationship with the client, but I owed it to my team, and I don't regret it for 1 second. And these are two huge clients that helped define my career. They were a big part of my identity as a photographer. It was how I always introduced myself, and it's how I sort of ranked myself as a photographer and linked my identity and even sort of pinned my self-worth to them a bit. And all for what? I mean, you see, when things went wrong, when I had a genuine concern, didn't help me. And that's not the case for all my clients. I have fantastic, wonderful clients that I've worked with for many, many years that value me, and I value them as well. However, these were two really big ones, and I made the mistake of valuing them so much, a lot more than they valued me. And in addition to being good to ourselves and how we value ourselves, we should also reshape our thinking of how we treat our peers. In our community, we often hear things like, oh, so-and-so shoots for Nat Geo, or that photographer did a shoot for Nike, or whatever, and then we sort of immediately rank them as better or worse than who we are, who someone else is. It's easy to fall into that trap of linking our self-worth to these clients, judging ourselves and others based on those associations. I used to do it. I still do sometimes, and I try not to. I try to catch myself, and I try to fight it. And I've got a pretty impressive client list. I'm proud of my 100+ assignments for the New York Times. I'm proud of my commercial and video production company. I'm proud of all the work that I've done for Intercontinental Hotels. I have a great relationship with Leica, both for my personal projects and for my YouTube channel. But here's the thing, while I value and leverage those relationships in my career, I don't let them define me, and neither should you. And if I didn't shoot for these clients, my work would still be the same. My techniques, my style, my professionalism, my integrity, and competence as a photographer wouldn't change. Editors change, clients move on. Art directors shift. People and companies show their true colors sometimes, and they disappoint you. All these things are often beyond our control. What you can control is your own growth, your push forward in your photography. Stay at it. Keep pushing yourself. The industry might label or rank you, but the biggest power you have is not letting them do so. Define yourself are your own measure. When a client moves on, or you haven't shot for your dream client yet, remember, you are you. You're at where you're at right now for a reason, and things can change in a heartbeat, both for good or for the worse. But at the end of the day, be your own judge. I know some of my work is more powerful and thoughtful than many photographers who might be perceived as better than me. And I also know for sure that there's photographers that are a lot more talented than me that might be seen as lesser than me. And they might not have as many prestigious clients, and they might be better than me, and that's fine. Who cares? That's all outside noise. Focus on yourself, your craft, your business, your professionalism, and your integrity. Just keep moving forward in your photography. Try to block out all that other stuff. This is just a little bit of advice from someone who's a little bit older, that's been doing this for a while, and who's made a lot of these mistakes that I've talked about today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to check out my online store if you're interested in one-on-one coaching your photography, both for amateurs and pros, open to all levels, open to all ages. You can check out askmott.com. Or if you're interested in a photography workshop of a lifetime, check out my Northern Vietnam photography workshop this December. There's a couple slots left. It is the ultimate workshop experience. Come join me in Vietnam. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to have a wonderful day.